This is not an AI bubble. It's not Nvidia failing. It's not a crypto panic. It's the global liquidity tightening in real time. Everybody thinks the markets are falling apart, and they blaming Nvidia, even though they shouldn't. Or maybe even blaming Powell, or they dragging it with crypto. But that isn't the truth. The real trigger is something that 95% of investors don't even track. And the reason AI stocks bleed, the reason crypto is collapsing, and the reason billions have evaporated from the market in the blink of an eye. And when you really understand what's happening this week and what's going forward, you'll never look at the markets the same. I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to understand the market's completely different. I'm going to give you an aha moment, and I'm going to show you how the things that was right in front of us was really just smoke and mirrors. So before we get into this video, man, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and man, check this out. I promise you, I'm going to give you a lot of good content, a lot of great information, and some things that's really going to make you think. I don't want to waste your time. I want to add value. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Let's get to it. This week felt like the entire market was standing on a trap door. The anticipation was crazy. Even since Monday, we was just waiting on Nvidia earnings. And then what happens? Nvidia smashes earnings, goes up by 5% pre-markets. I go crazy on my other channel. The market was like, yo, Nvidia, please save us. Like, it was the thing that we was waiting for. And we got it. They blew through it. I'm talking about you couldn't have asked for a better earnings call. And then something crazy happened. You got up the morning and Nvidia was actually slightly lower than what it was. But we was cool. And then Jay Powell got on TV and said that we're not getting the December data. He then said rate cuts don't look real nice for December. And immediately, the market just fell. Nvidia had gained $450 billion in market cap. It lost it and then closed lower. Crypto slid straight into a bear market even deeper. Also, 2 real estate companies actually defaulted, and a $2 billion Ritz-Carlton partner folded. And the Fed dropped the bloody line that none of us wanted to hear. No October data. December rate cut? Maybe uncertain. Instant panic flew into the market, y'all. But here's the truth. None of that was the real cause. Listen, I know that it's hard to believe, but none of that was the real cause. There's an invisible force behind that sell-off. Like, markets have been flying. We have been through 7 straight months of upward, just explosiveness in the market. And so we all know that there's some pullback that got to happen. We're not crazy here, right? We've been investing for some time. We understand that pullbacks happen. This is why so many of us buy the dip. This is why so many of us position ourselves, because we understand that. We enjoy it. We understand that over time, if we have a long-term perspective, the market can go up. But what happens when there's something that's not really being told to us? Now, I'm going to get into it. First, we're going to start off with what's called the carry trade. The Japanese yen is quietly the most dangerous pressure point in global finance. Now, let me explain it to you without all the fancy words. In 1990, Japan's market crashed. And then what Japan did was they dropped their interest rates to almost zero. And at some point during the time between 1990 and now, it actually was negative. So investors around the world said, wait, hold up. We can borrow cheap money from Japan and invest it in other countries and other assets and get better returns and then pay back Japan their money for a little bit of nothing. So they invested that money everywhere. U.S. stocks, bonds, real estate, crypto, emerging markets. This created what is called the yen carry trade. But think of it like this. Borrow money cheap from Japan, earn big somewhere else for decades. And it worked flawlessly. Now let's think about something. Japan is now the #1 holder of U.S. debt. And globally, somewhere between $7 and $10 trillion is tied to people borrowing money from the yen. That means if the yen ever rises, something real terrifying happens. So what do investors do? In a time like that, They liquidate assets, and they liquidate them fast. We talking stocks, we talking crypto, we talking real estate, we talking anything that we can get our hands on to sell because we need to get off of this money so we can pay this trade off. Now, I want to get really, really, really deep into that because I want you all to really understand. A headline came out this week that said, Japan's yield, that shock threatens global markets. Boom. And then it says, Bitcoin may be next. Now, mind you, this pressure had been building up, right? And then I want you to understand something else that else happened. SoftBank. SoftBank sells its $5.8 billion Nvidia stake. I know you're thinking to yourself, well, something was about to happen with Nvidia. That's why SoftBank sold. Well, SoftBank is in where? Japan. Japan is at threat. Japan is in a serious situation. And so we saw Friday, we saw Japan get approved for a stimulus. But I want to walk back for a second. I want to talk about how this carry trade works, y'all, because I need you to see it. With 0% interest rates or negative rates, people borrow money from Japan, the Japanese yen. And then they sell that to buy high interest bonds or other currency. This is what a Forex market comes at because that's the easy way to transition. And then they go get 4 to 5% on just bonds and things like that. This is why Japan, they take the money and then they buy American bonds so they can get some real money to try to fuel this. So they giving us fake money. Ooh, this is so good. We borrowing from Japan. And then when we pay them the money back with the little bit of interest, they take the little bit of interest and then they buy U.S. bonds and then we pay them the interest for owning our bonds of our American dollar.
Whoop they do.
And then what other countries do is, because America is the best place to do what? America is the best place to build wealth, y'all. So what do other countries do? I'm going to tell you what they do. Everybody else go get the cheap money from Japan and then do what? Put it in a Forex market and then do what? Exchange it and then do what? Buy American assets. So when you see them say foreign countries are liquidating American money, American assets is because they ain't got the money from cheap from Japan. They ain't got the loan cheap from Japan. They ain't got the yen, did it in Forex. That's why the foreign exchange markets are what they are. You swap it out. Boom, you take that, put it in American assets, get the American money, pay off that. It's called arbitrage. This is the game. Trap, what that got to do with Bitcoin? Okay, well, let's think about it. What do you think happens when we hear that Japan is in a crisis? So I want to show you a headline that was up. Japan bond market surprised investors this week. The Kobashi letter reported that the 40-year soars to 3.67%, the highest since securities launched in 2007. Pierre described the move as a vote of no confidence in Japan's foreign debt substantiability. The country's debt load now stands at approximately 250% of GDP, and interest payments already account for 23% of annual tax revenue. Trap, what the hell does that mean to me? Well, Japan's economy is in a bad situation right now. So they've been raising interest rates. So if they're raising interest rates, that means the yen gets stronger. If the yen gets stronger, then the people who borrowed the money from Japan at a low interest rate, guess what? Now that yen goes up and the interest rates goes up, that means the yen has got strong and I got to pay you back more. So what do you think people do if you was getting it at a 0 point? I want to do something for a second. I just want to do something for a second. And I want to really, really, really show you something. I want to take a second right here and bring y'all to the Japanese yen. This is it right here. All right, so let's do this for a second. We on the weekly chart looking at it. Interesting here. Let's just look at how interesting this is. This week, the Japanese yen is higher than it's ever been. The yen is up, the market falls. Our market falls. Why? Because people go get liquidity. We need liquidity. What liquidity we need? We need American liquidity. Why do we need American liquidity? Because the American dollar is the dollar where other countries are building their wealth in. Okay, let's go a little deeper into that. Let me show you something that I saw that really made me say, yep, this is it. Watch this. We looked at the weekly, but on the daily, so this is Friday, and this green one is Thursday. This when the market fell off. I wonder why, Trap. I wonder why the market fell off Thursday like that. Well, because the yen was at the highest it ever been. And if it's the highest it ever been, that means everybody around the world, 7 to 10 trillion dollars that's connected to that, that's also connected to the American dollar. We talking about your 401k, we talking about your retirement, we talking about your pension, we talking about all these other countries, we talking about companies who are also involved in the AI trade, who was getting money from Japan using the same thing. We talking banks, we talking private credit, we talking all big major institutions around the world going to get money from Japan for the low and come in and get this U.S. bread. Well, let's think about something. Thursday, the yen was up. Friday, it cooled off. Well, Trap, why did it cool off Friday? Well, here's what happened Friday. Here you go right here. On Friday, Japan approves a $135 billion stimulus shot to help households during this economy. Well, that stimulus gonna do what? It's gonna bring them yields down. So it cooled off. Well, no wonder, Trap. What happened? Well, if we look at the chart right here, this candle shows us one thing. Not only did the red candle open below the previous day's opening, but it got into Wednesdays. Right? So it's sold off, it's cooled off. Well, what happened in our markets Friday? Well, in our markets Friday, we got a green day. Interesting. Well, let's just make it make sense so you all can see it. SPY. Which is something we'll come to later on. Look at this. This on a daily. Interesting. The American market, which is tied so much to the Japanese yen, sells off when? Thursday. You think that was a coincidence? Money is tied together, y'all. Okay, you don't remember in 2024? The same thing happened in 2024. If you go back to November 2024, we had what was called a carry trade, and it threatened the market, and the market sold off. Our bonds got to 5%. Our market sold off. Everybody was crazy, going crazy. What happened? They said the carry trade is unwinding. It was an issue with the Japanese yen again. Okay, let's go back though. I won't make it make sense to you. The one thing I won't do is make it make sense to you. I want you to see this. That's the 10-year. Now I want to show you something. See, that's at 1.8, right? Watch this. Let's just slide it over. Let's just slide it all the way over. It's about right here. 0.117 in 2022. So imagine you borrowing money in 2022 at negative interest rates. Well, let's slide it right here. Uh-oh. Look at that. Still under zero. See, still 0.25. You not mad, but that's what? It did get a little more expensive from buying it here, from using the money here at negative. So Japan had their rates at negative so that people could use the cheap money. Okay, let's go a little further. 2023. Still zero. Okay, let's go. Now we enter 2024. Watch this. Boom. One. I was paying negative for the money. Now I'm paying 1%? Now I'm paying 1%? What is going on here? What is going on here? And then it went back down to negative. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let's do this then. When did it happen? When was the spike? What was the spike? That's 23. That's May 24. All the way to June 24. I know y'all remember that pressure. I know y'all remember that pressure. All right, let's go to the SPY and just take a look right here. May 24. Look what happened. April, look at this. April, what this is? May. Carry trade. Carry trade. This is the carry trade right here. And then, that was all about that yen. Look, we just saw it. We just saw it. The unwinding of the yen. The unwinding of the yen affects the stock market, y'all. I just need you to understand how all things are tied together and nothing is a coincidence. But it's never what we see on the top of the screen, y'all. So let's get back to it. Why did we sell off? Japan raised the rates earlier this year. That instantly made the yen stronger. Repaying those yen loans became more expensive, and people start fumbling for cash. Then this week, the bond yields hit an all-new high. So that's why everything fell apart. At the same damn time. Nvidia, AI, growth, crypto, risk everywhere. So now does it make sense why SoftBank sold their whole Nvidia stake? Where are they? They're in Japan. Does it just make sense? Let's think about it. If Nvidia would have missed earnings, the market would have collapsed. They killed it. The market was ready to run. But you know why it didn't run? Because it woke up to the news on what was going on in Japan. Overnight, they saw the crypto, and that's another thing. Crypto is an overnight thing, foreign exchange. They saw that. And guess what? We got to get out of some of these U.S. assets. So you got to think, SoftBank is not because they don't believe in AI, but when your country under pressure, you need liquidity. And that was just a massive confirmation for us. Whoop-de-doo. And we're going to get into the charts, y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe if y'all like what we got going on right here. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, because I'm just trying to tell a story. We're going to get into the charts, and I'm going to still give you two companies that I'm looking at. We're going to break it down. We're going to break down the SPY for sure. We had a Fed that said, he didn't know how sure the rates was going to be with the rate cut. And, that scared the market as well, because we need a rate cut. I'm not saying we need it, but I know that's what the market wants. Then you had another Fed come on Friday and say something different. He said, I still think we're going to get a rate cut. Now, last Sunday video, I showed y'all it was at 29. It was the other way. But it was like a 40% chance that we was going to get a rate cut, 60-40. Well, now it done swapped to 71-29 in the way of getting a rate cut. Now, the markets want that rate cut. Now, put that, which came out Friday, with the yield, the Japanese yen being down. So now I'm about to tell all y'all, just watch the yen and watch how the markets move as the yen move. If the yen, I can almost promise you this. If the yen goes down, our markets won't be as volatile. But if you see that yen spike up, you're going to see our markets be volatile. Now, if we get some more certainty, because this week, we got a short week. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You got Thanksgiving Thursday. You got the markets close at 1 o'clock Friday. You got a nice week ahead of you. And we got to be aware of a few things, yo. I would say right now is a time to really be cautious in the market. This is not an AI bubble. It's not Nvidia failing. It's not a crypto panic. It's the global liquidity tightening in real time. All right, man, I hope you all enjoyed this video, man. I hope I gave y'all some game. I hope I added value to your time, man. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell me in the chat, did you get it? Did you enjoy it? It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. Salute.